Hey everybody, I'm JimClassic, and you are watching Geekin It. And for today's video, I would like to talk about from the Masterverse series, Masters of the Universe Vintage Collection Faker. Alright, before we open up Faker, let's talk about the box real quick. This is a new type of Masterverse type box. We see Vintage Collection, Masters of the Universe, Faker, Evil Robot of Skeletor. Of course, we see the toy right there behind plastic. Masterverse there on the top. Nothing really on the side except more of the exploding rocks. Moving on to the back, you see, I think this is old classic artwork. You see old classic artwork of Faker and He-Man battling it out, and Skeletor in the back is just kind of like, "Get him, you robot boob!" Faker is no He-Man. He's the evil blue robotic warrior of Skeletor. And we see stuff on here, what he can do: arm him for battle, reveal robot recorder, and Faker, evil robot of Skeletor. Nice little description here at the bottom. In 1982, Masters of the Universe took the world by storm with action figures that captured the imaginations of people from here to Eternia. Today, the Masterverse celebrates original designs as modern 7-inch scale action figures with the Vintage Collection. Nice. Okay, well that's it. I have talked about the box. Let's open this guy up and see what he is all about. Well, now that I got Faker out of the package, to make a long story short, if you already have the 40th anniversary edition of Masterverse He-Man, you're not getting anything all that much different. The sculpting and the design and the head sculpt is identical. Really, the only two differences is the body armor and the chest piece there on the top, as you can see hints of Faker's computer ports right there. But regardless, let's just take a quick look at him. That head sculpt is classic He-Man / Faker. Of course, you have the nice Skeletor style armor there in orange. You know, he does have the nice gunmetal silver gauntlets right here. Of course, the blue skin is, an obvious giveaway that this is not really He-Man. We got the purple briefs, and we do have, actually there seems to be some shading here in between the muscles. Now that I'm looking at it between certain lights, you do see some shading issues, some dark blue in between, like, the sinewy parts. I don't know how to describe it, but between the muscle segments here, you do see some nice dark blue painting. So there's got some nice color, got some nice color shading going on there. So that is a really cool touch. I don't think we would have seen that a few years ago. Of course, the fuzzy boots are all purple. Not 100% purple. There's definitely a shimmer to it, or a shine to it. I mean, they're supposed to be furry boots, so I don't know why they'd be shining, but, you know, they do have a shining quality to it, which isn't too bad. Of course, you know, all the boots there are pretty much the same, but these look good. Faker stands well. Of course he did that. Faker stands well. Oh my. Faker stands well. Alright, good. Yeah, he stands pretty well. The joints are all pretty tough. You know, he does have a good range of motion. Ball-jointed head, can look up, can look down. He does have a universal joint on the shoulder. You can see it right there. He's got a bicep swivel. He's got double-jointed elbows, but those big muscles kind of get in the way a little bit. He does have wrist rotation. That's on a soft ratchet. You can feel the click, but you can't hear it. Can go up, can go down. Again, all right, we're not going any further than that. He does have a ball joint here in the upper part of the chest, so even the upper part of the chest can go around. The waist can rotate as well, so this guy can just kind of do that, and then that, and then that, and then that. Ball jointed hips. Of course, we have thigh rotation, double joint at the knee, and you know, I mean, these double jointed knees, they always look a little bit weird because obviously it doesn't flex the way a real human skeleton does, but either way, it's great for posing. You have a shin swivel, as you do. You got a toe. You have a toe point right there. You have a toe flex right there, and a nice ankle pivot, which you can just go all around, really, if you really feel like it. And that's, you know, pretty much that for Faker and his articulation. Now, before we get to the accessories, we're just going to pop that head off right there, and we're going to take off the harness. Gets a little weird in spots. Come on. There we go. Gonna take that, put the head back on, just because we don't want a headless Faker. And let's take a look at that computer detail. Now, that is the only real difference with the sculpt of this figure. And it is not just a sticker, it is not painted on. This is actually sculpted into the chest. So you see the little buttons there. You see the reel-to-reel, the reel-to-reel parts and little buttons there. And it's all nicely painted, very clean. This is quality work. You know, I gotta say, this is some great work right there. Well, let's just get the body armor on, and we'll talk about the rest of his accessories. Faker does come with a list of accessories, and we will discuss them right now. We've got a replica, an orange replica. This is like a gold and orange, maybe a bronze. Yeah, I would say bronze. A bronze replica of He-Man's power sword, and again, it is the 40th anniversary version, and it looks very clean, very nice. You even see the leather wrappings around the handle. You get a bronze shield that also came with the 40th anniversary of He-Man, and the bronze battle axe right there. Now, Faker also does come with a left hand open grip and a right hand closed fist. So you can pretty much just, you know, have him dual wield his weapons if you want, or you can have him hold the axe in one hand while he's punching his adversary with his right. You know, you got some versatility here with this figure. And, I mean, he really does look good, and he poses well. Just a quick comparison here. We got Faker with the 40th anniversary He-Man and the Masters of the Universe classics from, geez, I don't even know, 2010, 2009, I don't know. This guy came packaged with Superman as part of a DC crossover. But anyway, looking at these two, you know, like I said, it is definitely the same mold, with the exception of the computer bits right there on the chest, and of course the body armor. But you know, just you know, singling out Faker and He-Man, it is the same face sculpt. It is the same body. You know, all reused parts, except he's blue and purple instead of like tan and brown. You know, and that's just about it. But yeah, so you know, just this is Faker. That's him. He's supposed to be just this evil doppelganger of He-Man, and there's just something fun about that. I don't know. Some people think it's an overused trope, but I just kind of love it. And just another comparison. Here's Faker with Faker from the Masters of the Universe Revelations. Was it Revelations or Revolutions? I think this was the Revelations Faker, where New Eternia Faker is basically just a blue doppelganger of He-Man. The Revelation Faker is kind of has a Terminator vibe going on, with parts of the skin ripped off. You know, and that's kind of how they decided to interpret it. But otherwise, you still got the same kind of bullet points. You got the same kind of bat armor right there. And of course, it is just made to look like He-Man of sorts. You know, I know a lot of people didn't like Masters of the Universe Revelation. And yeah, I got my critiques, but I would say I enjoyed about half of it. So there's that. And I enjoyed some of the figures. And that has been my look at the Masters of the Universe Masterverse Faker. Like I said, Faker is probably one of my favorite MOTU villains. I love the fact that he is just, you know, a recolor of the 40th anniversary He-Man. I think Mattel did a great job sculpting in the mechanical details in this chest instead of just kind of tampographing it on like they did with the Origins figure. And this is a good kind of Masterverse Classics update to Faker. And I definitely recommend it. Now, I got this guy before the tariffs kicked in, and the tariffs are in effect right now, so I don't really know if it's worth it to you to get him. That is up to you. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. But, you know, if you are going to spend the kind of cash and for the inflated price, he's a really cool figure, and I think he would make a great addition to your Masters of the Universe Masterverse collection. But that's just me. Let me know what you think of this figure. Tell me in the comments section. I would like to know. Okay, well, I'm JimClassic. You have been watching Geekin, and I will see you next time. Take care, everybody.